So right on the cusp of a Lebanon-Israel ceasefire, a Turkish-backed rebel group, along with other terrorist organizations, launched an offensive in Aleppo against Russian and Syrian forces. And I'm sure the US and Israel have nothing to do with this. So to really understand what's happening right now, we first have to understand the parties that are involved in their self-interest. So from what we know, we obviously know Syria and Russia are involved, but also Turkey is involved, Ukraine is involved, the United States are involved, Al-Qaeda is involved, HTS is involved, and less obviously so, Israel and Lebanon. So let's talk about Turkey and Erdogan. So it's important to know that Turkey and Erdogan have always fallen in line with their NATO allies and have always been anti-Assad. It's also important to know that Turkey's had a shaky relationship with Russia at best and has been critical of their invasion of Ukraine despite knowing NATO is the one who provoked this invasion. In other words, although Erdogan has been careful about his words, I will consider Turkey a supporter of Ukraine. So then it should come as no surprise that right now the terrorist organization HTS, backed by Turkey, is working alongside Ukraine in order to overthrow Bashar al-Assad in Aleppo. And for those of you who may be thinking that this terrorist organization is actually just some freedom fighting group out there trying to fight for their Syrian brothers and sisters, first of all, HTS is literally an Al-Qaeda spinoff. Look, the same Al-Qaeda that everybody and their mama knows is backed by the United States. Second of all, these Syrian freedom fighters don't even principally speak Arabic, they speak Uzbek. But the main language of Syria is Arabic. I mean, come on, that's a little bit more than suspicious, right? Even during a temporary ceasefire between Syria's government and HTS was working with Turkish troops. So just to be clear, this HTS group is more affiliated with Turkey than Thanksgiving Day than it has ever actually been affiliated with the Syrian people. So the question for some would be, well, why now? Now enters Hezbollah, Lebanon, and of course Israel. You see, Erdogan think he's slick because 2 weeks ago he said that he's cutting off all relations with Israel because of the genocide they're committing in Palestine. But it really looks like he was just saving face because he knew this operation right now was coming. Because here, as Vanessa Billy so eloquently points out, although there's been a ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon, they know that Hezbollah will work with Syria to replenish their arms in case Israel attacks again. This attack on Aleppo will impede any effort to restock Hezbollah's munitions, which is why anti-Assad experts are saying that this offensive strategically benefits both Turkey and Israel. The same Turkey that allegedly is cutting off relations with Israel because of the genocide that they're committing in Gaza. Y'all don't think Erdogan know what he doing? Now, of course, the last question might be, why the hell is Ukraine in Syria? What they got to do with Bashar al-Assad? And why are Ukrainian troops working alongside terrorist organizations? Well, first of all, it seems pretty odd brand for neo-Nazi sympathizers to work with terrorist organizations to overthrow democracy. I think that's pretty normal, honestly, for Ukrainians. However, Ukraine's sustained involvement in Syria is evidence of a couple of things. That this operation is a fully NATO-sanctioned operation, including arming and assisting the literal terrorists, and that this operation has as much to do with Russia as it has to do with all the other parties mentioned. So I don't know if y'all know, but things aren't going that well for Ukraine right now in this Russia-Ukraine conflict. So what better way to give Ukraine leverage in this situation with Russia than to overextend Russia's military, at least as much as they can before Trump gets in and everything becomes unpredictable and chaotic. And it isn't just Ukraine that's banking on Russia becoming overextended. Because of Russia, in just a few weeks, Palestine will become an official part of BRICS. Russia and Turkey and Erdogan have never seen eye to eye, be it because the leaders just don't like each other or because of Turkey's involvement in NATO. And Putin just plain don't like Netanyahu and the United States. I mean, need I say more? I mean, this is the same United States that gave US weapons to Ukraine to launch an invasion of Russia. So once again, we end up back in my same theory that I've been preaching for about a year and some change now. There might be a lot of subplots rolling right now in Syria and other places in the Middle East. This is probably about Russia, because if Russia doesn't have their hands tied, it will go after Israel. It will protect its allies, and that's obviously including Syria. Lebanon, and Iran. And all the parties involved in the offensive against Aleppo have beef with all of those countries. So in all likelihood, this isn't really just about overthrowing Assad, but more so a last-ditch effort before the empire sinks into chaos under Trump again, to try and stave off Russia in this multipolar world that they are taking part in creating, both economically and militarily. But just like the rest of NATO's plans as of late, I'm sure this plan is going to fail miserably too.